So obviously we know why you're here. We're all here for the exact same reason. You want to learn how to make a vision board, but honestly, not just make a vision board, come up with something that actually works and actually sticks, because just putting together a bunch of really cute pictures does not actually change the trajectory of your life. And if you're here, if you're seeking these type of video, if this video just happened to find you, there's something greater for you to learn here. So together we are going to break down some real life actionable goals that actually make a difference, so that you don't have to continue saying this is the year, this is the year, this is the year, because if you don't have a plan, babe, it's not gonna be the year. So if you want to figure out how you can make some changes to actually see real results and actually let this year be the year, then just keep watching.
And wash me over until my will runs dry. Send all your sins all over me, baby.
Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. So as you can see by the title and the reason that you clicked on this video, we are doing a 2024 vision board. This was highly requested after me doing last year's video. I got a lot of comments, people asking me to do an updated one. So without further ado, here she is. Let me also start by saying you don't need to wait until the new year to actually start any of this. So if you're finding this video and it's March, it's July, it's November of 2024, you can start whenever. You don't need to wait for January 1st to actually start putting plan into motion, okay? So as one of my favorite women once said, and I quote Rihanna, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to do? Because like I mentioned, putting together a bunch of really cute pictures, that's fun, you know, and I do think that that should be a part of the process. But if you are not actually breaking down step by step everything that you are going to do to change this year, then it's realistically just not going to happen, because one day is one day unless you actually put a date on it. And with that being said, I want to encourage you guys to do things a little bit differently this year. So last year we focused on, you know, kind of planning, and I did 2 parts, and I'll link them below so you guys can watch that, because I do think those videos are super helpful. But we started talking about being intentional with your vision planning, and then we actually did another episode on physically making the vision board and how to do that, how to craft it on Canva and where to get your pictures from and blase, right? This year, what I'm gonna do different is not give myself full year, because you put these things on a vision board and you put the year in the middle and it says 2023 or it says 2024, and you're like, okay, this year I'm gonna do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. You do not need 365 days to accomplish all of those. And if you just say sometime during this year I want to get these things done, it is just not going to get done. And I don't mean to be harsh or anything, but like, let's just be honest with ourselves, because how many times have you done that? And those are the things that make you discouraged to kind of want to start again, because you might be like, okay, I did a vision board last year and I didn't do any of this stuff on there, so why would I do it again? The reason you do it again is because you're not giving up on yourself, okay? Just because you tried something last year and it didn't work doesn't mean that you don't deserve to be tried for again. And the only person that can make those things happen for you is you. And you really have to just get very clear and very honest about the reality of that. You know, no one can walk those steps for you. No one can run the treadmill for you. No one can lift those weights for you. You might find someone who can meal prep for you and other things like that, but for the most part, it's going to take you, not anybody else, okay? So I want us to start with coming up with a word of the year. I will list on the screen a couple of different words if you guys just need some inspiration to draw from. It could be resilience, it could be abundance, it could be clarity, it could be consistency, it could be commitment. It could really be anything, but think about what you want your word of the year to be, because I feel like you need that one thing that you can keep in mind, your why, and what you go back to when you start losing sight of the vision. If you are not ready to adapt a new mindset going into the new year, it's hard to realistically believe that saying you're going to do a couple of actions is going to change anything. Because why did it not work in the past? It didn't work in the past because your mindset was not up to par. You might say, before the 31st, I felt really inspired that one day and I said I was gonna work out and lose 50 pounds and start eating healthy and start doing this. But what would make you so different on January 1st than you were on the 31st? You have to train yourself. You are good at what you practice, and that includes the bad things as well. So you have to consistently reinforce those concepts by introducing yourself to new things, shifting the language that you choose to use when you talk to yourself. This is what it's gonna look like for me this year, okay? And I'm sure I'll insert some like screen recordings, because I have not made my vision board yet, but I've done the planning, and the vision board is gonna actually take place after this. I'm gonna be making a couple of vision boards this year. I'm gonna have one that kind of pulls from all categories, but I wanna break things down into the quarters. There's 4 quarters in a year, okay? So every 90 days, what can you accomplish? I already know that one of the biggest things for me to prioritize this year is my overall health, which also will spill over into my appearance. So an actionable goal that you can take is breaking your life down into a multitude of categories and making sure that you're doing something to fulfill each of those. My relationship with God is a category. My relationship with my friends and family, because I find sometimes if I spend too much time working on things, I feel like I'm neglecting the people who I love and want to be around long term. And it's important that I do find time for them. And then of course there's, you know, your career, passion projects, your income, the space around you. Like I do want to have time for home projects and things that help keep me in flow and help keep me in alignment so that I can produce what I need to produce. It's all about really finding a balance, because I find when I'm spending too much time on work, then I don't have a lot of time for my friends, or I might find that I'm doing so much of this that I haven't really been praying or staying up on my faith. And then I find if I'm putting too much time into one category, that the other ones get neglected. And so I really want to create a balance. But what I'm going to do is prioritize starting at the very beginning of the year. Again, you don't need to start on January 1st. You can start this today. You can start this after, but you do need to start. And so for the first 90 days, what's really important to me is I want to be physically fit. I want to get my gut under control. I want to get my skin clear. I want to do those things because I want to feel good and I want to have confidence. I know if I take care of that, it'll help me to sleep better. It'll help me to produce better content. It'll help me show up with more ease. And so for the first 3 months, that is what I'm prioritizing. And what that looks like for me is during the month of January, I will not be drinking at all. I will be sober during the month of January, and I will be maintaining a calorie deficit as far as my eating habits go. Because why do I need 365 days to lose weight? Why is it not realistic that I can lose weight in 90 days? It is realistic. And you have to evaluate the things in your life that are holding you back, keeping you from the person that you say you want to be. And I mean, if we're being honest, I don't think it's just for me. For a lot of us, alcohol is holding you back. Alcohol is slowing you down. And, you know, everything kind of should come with balance, and everything can kind of ebb and flow. But after the holidays, I know a lot of us have been eating more than we usually eat, drinking more than we usually drink. And so I want to go cold turkey because I've been doing excessive eating. I don't want to say excessive drinking, but more drinking as a result of the holidays. And so now it's like, it's natural for me to just want to go ahead and make a cocktail, and I don't even think twice about it. January 1st, it's absolutely done. And again, you don't need to wait until January 1st, but this is just what I'm doing. My birthday is tomorrow. I do plan on indulging. I do plan on having a good time. January 1, it's absolutely done for me. So there's a lot of things that I'm going to be cutting out, and I have to also go ahead and be prepared. Okay, when I want something to drink, what can I have instead? I already am going to have a list of mocktails lined up. I'm going to go ahead and have the ingredients. I'm going to go ahead and go to the grocery store and buy the foods that I want to be eating, because I cannot say, oh, I want to eat healthy and lose weight, and then on January 1st, well, all I have is leftover pizza and wings, and then I fall into, well, I'm just going to eat this because it's here. You have to prepare for the version of your life that you say you want, and get very clear on your goals, and not just, this is what I want to happen, but how are you realistically going to make that happen? If you want to go on 4 vacations this year, what does that look like? What does that cost you? When do you need to have the flights booked by? When do you need to have hotels booked by? You have to give yourself due date. I'm going to have this done by this date, not just, oh, one day this year, at some point this year. That's not going to work, girl. You could try it. Try and report back. I tried it. The people in the comments have tried it. It don't work. It doesn't work like that. So my suggestion is, first, break your life down into categories. It could be career, mental health, physical health, personal life, anything. Break it down and really assess, what does each category need and what does that look like? Babe, get you a planner. Okay, because like I said, you need to have due dates for certain things. You can't just say one day. Get you a planner. Go ahead and say, I know that, like for example, I could have planned this year out doing Vlogmas, knowing I'm going to be super busy doing Vlogmas this season, so that doesn't give me a lot of time to hang out with my friends. So before Vlogmas starts, I'm going to invite all of my girls to dinner and make sure I get that quality time in with them, because I'm going to be really dedicated to my work before that. That's what planning looks like, and it really does set you up for success. And also something else to know, like, don't be so harsh with yourself that if you get 15 out of the 30 things done, you're disappointed, because that is still something. It really is still something, and it's much further than you would be if you just didn't put forth any effort at all. So think about the things that are really important to you. Start with the really big goals and break it down. So by March, with me doing the 1st of January, going completely sober, eating in a caloric deficit, that's already gonna seriously impact me. I know that within a couple of days of taking certain things out of my diet, I'm going to start feeling it. And then what you do is you ride the momentum, okay? You do these things, you stay the course, you hold yourself to it. Even if you don't do as good as you can, you continue to show up because you're committed to these things, okay? And then once you start seeing those results, it's gonna make it so much easier to keep going. Once you go to the gym, it's hard as hell those first couple of days, but then, you know, the start of the second week, you might be like, I was so winded at this point last week, but now I'm not. It gives you that confidence, which gives you that momentum, which helps you, girl. It's free drugs, okay? It's free drugs. Something else that I am wanting to do for my mental health, because, you know, I said I want to start cutting out alcohol, eating in a caloric deficit. I need to be challenging myself mentally, because the reason that I do so strong with certain things and then I fall off so hard, I'm not really mentally where I need to be, where I can just overcome certain things, because I'm unlearning certain habits, and that's okay. That's a process. It takes time. But what can I do to help myself? I can read books. I can study. I can put myself in new environments. So I will be making sure that for the first 3 months, I have a different book that I'm reading every single month. First, I will be reading Atomic Habits. Second, I will be reading a book by Patrice Washington, who's a huge inspiration of mine. I listen to her podcast all the time, the Redefining Wealth book. And I'm not exactly sure what I want the book for the month of March to be. So if you guys have any suggestions, I'm happy to take a look at them. I think I might want to get involved in a book club this year. I feel like it'll help me to always just be a voracious reader and always be seeking new knowledge. And I notice I'm so happy when I'm learning new stuff. But the idea of kind of feeling like it's work is what deters me from doing things sometimes. So certain aspects of your life, I want you to continue to romanticize, but I don't want you to overly romanticize things to where you just start to be too lackadaisical about it. Like over romanticizing having a soft life, but you were falling behind on really important goals and tasks. That doesn't add up, you know? So be realistic, romanticize certain things, but don't overdo it, okay? Take some time to also write out what you need to let go of. So, you know, I quoted Rihanna, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to do to get to these goals other than just talking about it? Because resolutions just sit there. They don't build onto anything unless you, again, make a plan and take action. But what are you gonna have to let go of? I'm gonna be transparent and share from my own personal experience. I can be a little too overly critical sometimes. I expect so much from myself, which means that I expect a lot from other people. And that's not a bad way to be, but you don't want to be too much of anything. Sometimes I need to just dial it back a little bit, because who am I to pass judgment? You know, I'm so imperfect myself. So it's like, I don't need to be so mean and so harsh to myself about the things that I didn't complete. And I don't also need to have this expectation that everyone else is going to be awesome all the time too, because that's a recipe for disappointment. You know, it's important to surround yourself with good people who are going in the same direction as you. So if that's what I want, what do I need to let go of to get there? Are there people in your life who you love and you're just keeping them around because they've been around for so long, but realistically you know that they don't fit the vision, they aren't going where you're going, and you're trying to hold on to them like dead weight? Because don't do that. But if you want, okay, I want to be around more like-minded people. Okay, where do people who have the same interests as you go? I'm saying I want to be more of a reader. I probably should join a book club. I want to start being more consistent with working out. It might behoove me to join a workout class where I can potentially meet someone who has the same interests and common goals. as me. I want friends who are content creators. Okay, well, a lot of content creators are sitting in their rooms like me making content. So maybe I need to be a little bit more open and forward on social media to connect with people. You know, put yourself out there this year and remind yourself you can do hard things. And hard things are the best things for you to do, because when you get to a place where you're so comfortable being comfortable, that's a problem. And I'm not saying that everything needs to be chaos and rah, 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 but put yourself in a position where you're uncomfortable for a season and watch how much you will really grow. It's so good and so important to challenge yourself. You know, I was looking at my video that I did last year, and in that video, I speak about how I want to get to 1,000 subscribers and all of these things that I really wanted to achieve. And I look back at that video today, I watched it, and I'm just like, wow, if only she knew. And also, I'm so proud of that girl, and I'm so proud of this girl too. And did I accomplish every little thing on my vision board? No, I didn't, but I've grown so much. I have really been putting in the work, and I feel like doing that has allowed me to get here to this point where I feel like, you know, I've challenged myself and I've overcome those things. So I know that I'm capable of more. I know that I'm capable of more, and I know that you are capable of more too, but you really have to break up with your negative mindsets and don't just say, I don't want to be like this and I'm going to do more of this. How? That's what I want you to answer. How are you going to do it? How are you going to start going to the gym more? Do you need to hire a trainer? Do you need to go say every single Sunday, I'm going to set out 7 outfits? So even if I don't go to the gym, this is my walking outfit, this is my gym outfit, this is this. Do you need to sign up for classes where you spend your own money so you'll stay accountable? Whatever it is that you need to do, you need to figure that out. But hoping and dreaming and one daying is not going to get you anywhere. And obviously, again, you clicked on this video because you're ready for some type of change. So let's be realistic about it and do it together. So break your actions down into 4 quarters. Every single 90 days that comes up, what are you planning to accomplish in those 90 days? After the first quarter, I'm still gonna be maintaining my fitness stuff, but I'm probably not gonna be making sure I'm in an extreme caloric deficit. And at that point, I might be upping my protein or doing something else, but you need to just continue moving forward and have something in mind for every quarter. So I really am loving the idea of having multiple vision boards. And of course, I'm a big fan of a digital vision board, but if you like something physical, girl, go print out the pictures and get the magazines and have a vision board party with your friends. And again, you can do this in January, you can do this in February, you can do this whenever you want to. It's never too late to change your mind about what you want out of life and to get serious about your goals. In the Bible, they say, write the vision and make it plain. So it's so important to write these things down. I want to just continue to put emphasis on that. Don't just get the cute little pictures. Write this stuff down and fill your vision board up with quotes. I will make sure in the description box that I have a bunch of quotes for you guys to pull from, some words for the word of the year for you guys to pull from, and I will insert here how I am putting my vision board together and what that looks like for the first quarter. And I will have one that stays as my background probably all year. I like to make my vision board in Canva and then use these same photos to translate the size of it so I can have a desktop version, and then I'll use those same photos and format it differently to have a mobile version. And seeing that as your lock screen and other things like that will definitely put you in a position where you're like, okay, I'm supposed to be doing this. I'm supposed to be doing this. I know I touched on breaking your life down into a bunch of different categories. The category that I definitely want to continue putting emphasis on is my relationship with God. So faith, spirituality, whatever religion you would like to call it, whatever's important to you. If you look up to a higher power, whatever you believe in, for me, it's absolutely God. It's so important to prioritize that in every single season. If you've been watching my Vlogmas series, you see that I talked about how I was just feeling so just like out of whack and kind of in a rut, and I couldn't really figure it out. And what it boiled down to was I wasn't, for one, doing my morning routine, but part of my morning routine is spending time with God. I was getting up every single morning and just opening my computer and just getting started, like just jumping right into it. And when you become super hyper focused on a goal, for me at the time it was completing Vlogmas, you can lose sight of everything else. This is why you want to break down each and every category, because even if it's fitness and you just wake up and you run straight to the gym. There's nothing wrong with that, but like at some point you have to slow down and say, hey, I need to talk to God. I need to pray. I need to manifest. I need to meditate. I need to say my affirmations. Whatever that looks like for you, do not neglect that part. This is arguably the most important part. And something that I think is so beautiful is that you can pray about any single little thing. You might think things are so small. We serve such an amazing God. Anything that's important to you is important to him. The tiniest things. I was watching this YouTuber, I'm pretty sure it was Shelly, and she speaks about how she lost, and it was a material possession, but she misplaced it, and it was really frustrating to her because she likes to be a good keeper of her items, and she misplaced it, and it was frustrating to her, and she went to God about it. God, please help me to find, it could be lip gloss. God, please help me to be able to find this lip gloss. And you might think that's little and, oh, you shouldn't pray about certain things. You can pray about anything under the sun. And because it's important to you, it's important to God. So don't ever think that anything is too small. And also with me saying that, I want to put some emphasis on too. Faith without works is dead. Okay, right? So like you cannot only just pray about things. You should pray about everything, but you can't only pray about things and then never put forth any effort, you know? So you can't just pray about friends and then never go out, or pray for a boyfriend or a girlfriend and then expect that they're just going to knock on your door. I mean, God, like I said, he's a way maker. He can do anything. It might be the mailman who knocks on your door. You never know. But ideally, you have to move forward with action and God will bless your endeavors. He will bless your actions. So continue to move, continue to pray about every single little thing that you can think of. But don't give yourself a year to complete tasks. Narrow it down. I want to have this done in 30 days. I want to have this done in 3 months. If you've been waiting to write out a business plan, you don't need 4 weeks to write a business plan. I'm pretty sure you can get that done in 3 days. I'm pretty sure if you say, I'm going to set an alarm from 8 to 10 p.m. tonight, and I'm going to work on it, and I'm going to turn my phone on do not disturb, and I'm going to get this done before bed, you will get it done. How many times have you had a deadline for something and you wait until the very last minute to get it done? But guess what? You get it done because you know it's due by this time. You don't need all the time in the world to reach your goals. You don't need 365 days to start losing weight. Now, that might be the time that it takes you to be as toned as you want, have the muscles that you want, be at an exact weight, but you can start seeing progress long before that if you just put forth some action and pray on those actions and allow God to really show you like what he can do for you. I truly believe that effort being put forth is what got me here to where I am today. And I believe I'm more equipped and more ready than ever to tackle all of these things that I say I want out of life, but I didn't complete last year, and just to get out of life all the things that I really want from it. And I'm excited to add some more new fresh goals to my list. So let's go into this without judgment of the past, without thinking of, oh, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. Let that shit go. All right. I want us to enter this with excitement for the future and all the opportunities that await you. Sprinkle a little bit of delusion and check out those videos that I made last year, because I'm really happy that that blessed a lot of people. And even in making that video, that was something that I was nervous to do. My best performing video so far, you know, something that was different than the other type of content that I was making in a way. You know, just don't ever be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to have an insane amount of faith. Bet on yourself. Bet on yourself. Improve yourself in multiple ways. Improve the way you look physically, because it will improve your confidence. Improve what you're putting inside of your body, because it'll help you have longevity in life, and also that'll spill over into your confidence. Improve your relationship with God, or your spirituality or religion, whatever it is, because that'll help you to have a mindset shift. Improve the way that you talk to yourself. Don't continue saying negative things out of your mouth and then being like, well, this is just how it is. And no, it's not. Like in those areas, I do want you to be delusional, and I want you to really believe that sky's the limit and you can have any and every single thing that you want. Take me, for example, hoping for just 200 or so more subscribers, or 20 or so more subscribers, so that I can reach 1,000 before the end of the year. And not only did I reach that, within months, I had gained another 10,000. So I am going to put some screen recordings here again, which I think I might have already done this at this point, but my favorite layout for the vision board is actually just by typing in desktop wallpaper, and I will have a link to a basic one that's on here, and then I just replace the photos. You can play around with the placement of the photos by right-clicking on Canva and either doing bring forward or move back. It's under the layers tab. I will also show you guys that. I get a lot of my pictures from Pinterest. I also love using Tumblr. They have just so many nostalgic photos that really create vibes, which is important because you do want to look at this stuff and get excited and feel like, oh, I can do this and I want to do this and I remember my why. But something that I think is super important and valuable is to please include photos of yourself on the vision board, because this is about you. And if you can dream it, you can see it, you can have it. But I want to imagine myself in those places. So yeah, I might be looking at a picture, a view from a yacht watching the sunset in Greece. I don't know. Put a picture of yourself next to that, because you want to imagine yourself there. You want real attainable goals, and you want to find other people to look up to and people who are headed in the same direction as you, specifically where you absorb your content. So watch more videos of people who are encouraging you and giving you realistic ways to reach those goals, and maybe absorb a little bit less of the music videos. Consciously, subconsciously, you're absorbing every single thing that you are around. So that friend who's always negative, who calls you every single day to talk about the same boyfriend that she hates, but she'll never leave him and expects to just emotionally be able to dump on you, yeah, you have to stop answering those phone calls. Even if that makes you look like a mean person or now you're suddenly not there for her. Choose yourself, put yourself before all those things. Be very intentional, be very aware, and be very selective about what you're allowing around you, what's absorbing into your psyche. So even when it comes to like sleeping, if you sleep with the TV on, but it's trash TV that you're sleeping to, that's not benefiting you at all. It's actually hurting you, because yeah, you're sleeping, but you are absorbing those things. So what I want us to do is read more books, prioritize our health, make real actionable plans, and break the year down into quarters, because it does get overwhelming when you look at, okay, I have 365 days and I want to complete boom, 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 boom. And then you are so stressed out before you even get to doing it because the planning has already overwhelmed you. Let's break it down into quarters. So for me, the first quarter, I'm focusing on my fitness. The second quarter, I might focus on my physical space. I will probably start, getting some new plants, getting some new lighting, changing out some towels, changing out a couple things. And maybe I'll make that my project for the month of April. And then for the month of May, maybe I'll do something else. I don't know if I mentioned I want to do challenges as well. I'm going to do books for every single month, and then I'm going to give myself a challenge for every single month. So I know at some point I'm going to do a 30-day Stairmaster challenge. I'm going to do an app challenge at some point. I'm going to do a walking challenge at another point. I'm going to do a water challenge at another point. I think things like that are really important for me and how I move personally, because if I'm challenged to something, I'm gonna crush it. I'm competitive by nature. I want to win. If I give myself forever to do stuff, it doesn't happen. But if I'm like, for 30 days, you want me to commit to this? Like, that ain't no problem. So if you're also that type of person and you have a challenge and you're like, okay, for 30 days, I can do this, it might make it seem more realistic. For 30 days, I'm going to go to the gym. For 30 days, I'm going to do this, versus like, oh, I'm just going to start working out every single day, and then by the end of the year, I'm going to feel so great. No, I want us to actually do stuff differently this year, so that come December 31st, 2024, you're not sitting there like, damn, another year went by and I didn't do those things. If you have saving goals, okay, that means by the end of each month, you need to have hit a portion of that. If you want to have $1,000 by the end of the year, what does that look like for you every single month? That means you need to save $83 every single month. Okay, what does that look like for you every single week? That means you need to save $20 a week. Can you do that? Probably so. Can you skip out on buying something? Can you not go to happy hour this week? And then will that save you a ton of money? Like, do things that are going to support where you say you're trying to go, and don't just talk about it. Don't just print out the cute little pictures and then never look at the vision board. And if you are the type of person who the vision board doesn't work for you, don't do the vision board. Don't do the vision board if it doesn't work for you. Find something that's going to work for you. If it works and you need to print it and put it on your wall, do that. If you can put it as your screensaver and it'll work, or as your laptop or iPad screensaver and it'll work, do that. But be realistic. Don't try to set your goals for what you think other people will want or what your life should look like. Do stuff that's actually realistic and that aligns with what you want and things that you are going to be excited about, and watch every single thing change for you because you're making a plan, you're finding ways to support yourself, and you're just setting yourself up for success. So I'm proud of you for even just making it this far through the video, for searching things like this, for taking the first steps, because like, yeah, you can really do it. You really can change your life. You really can cross off those goals. And it doesn't matter if it's been sitting there for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. You are not too old to do it. It's not too late. Your opportunity has not passed you 9 times out of 10. Now, maybe if, you know, you want to do something like be, you know, Forbes 30 under 30, so certain opportunities, they will have passed, but realistically, you can still set your mind out, your heart out to do anything that you want. It's never too late. You're not too old for your dreams. Don't give up on yourself, okay? Change the way that you talk to yourself, change the way that you think, and find things that are going to support you getting there. Get some books. Listen to some podcasts, put those sticky notes up with positive affirmations, make your walls look crazy. Do what you got to do, but don't give up on yourself, because there's a reason that you clicked on this video. There's a reason that you are interested in doing these things. Don't forget your why. All right. I love y'all. Happy vision board making. I hope this was useful. I know that this might have been all over the place a little bit. I didn't exactly have a full script for what I wanted to go off of, but I hope that at the end of the day, I still touched on things that were important and that you found some type of value in this. If you did, leave me a comment down below, like this video, and don't forget to subscribe. I love you. I'll see you soon. Mwah. Bye.
And watch me over until my will runs